Hello and welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint Show. I am your host, Jay Jones. Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the Black community by promoting business ownership. If you are currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, we invite you to join us every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint.
Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 169. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another great show in store for you. Today's show topic, we're going to go off track a little bit. Now, normally, I give you actionable steps to start your business or to move your business forward. But today's show topic is called Understanding Your Why and the Transformation of Your Why. And when I mean why, I'm talking about WHY, why you do something. Why are you an entrepreneur? And before we get into the show, the reason this came up, I started thinking about mortality. And why we do things, have I contributed? And I'd gone through some minor surgery a couple weeks ago, which was cool. But then earlier this week, my stomach started killing me. I had a fever. It was crazy. And I'm in the bed and my wife was like, yo, dude, stop moving. I'm rolling around. Not literally, but, I'm moving more than normal. And it felt like somebody had just punched me with a body punch in my lower abdomen. And normally I'm the type of dude, I don't go to the doctor unless I have to. All right. I know that's not good. I do go get checkups and all that. But my wife was like, look, dude, you're in pain. You need to go to the emergency room. Let's go. Get up. Let's go. And thank goodness that we did go. I had a CAT scan done and I found out that I have a condition called diverticulitis, which is an inflammation of the colon. And it causes symptoms, obviously, like crazy abdominal pain. I had a fever. I was sweating. I was nauseous. So it was crazy. And so before I knew what it was, before I had the CAT scan, I'm laying in the emergency room on the bed, on the gurney or whatever. And I'm like, Lord, I hope this isn't anything crazy like stomach cancer or whatever. And I just started thinking about mortality. Obviously we all are going to die. And hopefully later, better than sooner, we want to live as long and fruitful and prosperous life as we can. So I started thinking about, my life in general. I'm kind of like playing it back, my whys. And what I really started to think about was I had two whys. The initial why that I think most entrepreneurs have is money and taking care of yourself and or your family. Why are you going to be an entrepreneur? My thought was, number one, I don't like my job. Number two, I think I can do my job better. Number three, they're not paying me what I'm really worth. So, hey, I think I'll be an entrepreneur. All right. So that was my first why. Now, being an entrepreneur, or that why was, it's really what can the financial reward, what can the money do for you? You want to be able to take care of yourself, your family, your friend, your friends or whoever. That's what most people go into business for, is the money. And there's nothing wrong with that, because that's the reason we're in business, to make money. Then after you reach a certain level of success, whatever that may be, that you feel that, okay, I don't have to worry about paying my bills anymore. I've been in my business for a couple years or whatever. Everything is going good. Then sometimes your why transforms. There's a second why. And I'm going to give you a story, a personal story. So I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. After, college, I went to corporate America, I didn't like it. Sometimes you got to, know what you don't like to find out what you do like. And so I went to corporate America, and I left. I started my first quote unquote real business. And there were a lot of naysayers, family, friends, a lot of people that were close to me that didn't quite understand why you leaving this good quote unquote job to start your business. And I was like, man, and a lot of people were telling me, oh, you can't, I don't know why you think you can be successful. And I was like, okay, all right, I can show you better than I can tell you. So I was almost fueled by the negativity. Now I move out of love. Okay, I'm not going to get all hyped up like that anymore, but people use different things for different motivation, and which is good. And sometimes, I can use that for motivation, but most time I'm working out of love. That's what I try to work out of, as opposed to anger or disdain or whatever you want to call it. And so one day I come home and I had some relatives over the house. And my business was rocking and rolling, doing well. These are a lot of the same. It was a function, a family function. So it was a ton of family over. Some of the same people that doubted me, that talked about me, told me I need to go get a job, and this, that, and the other thing were there. And we started talking, and they were like, "Oh yeah, business is going well. How's it going? I'm seeing you doing good things." Blah 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 blah. And the first thing that came to my mind, and I did not say it, was, you know what? Look what I did. You talked all that nonsense. You didn't believe in me. You didn't support me. There's a difference between tolerating and supporting. All right. And I had to have a conversation with my wife about this because, and I don't want to, digress too much, but so any of you whose partner is an entrepreneur, there is a big difference between tolerating the entrepreneurial journey and supporting it. Tolerating means like, yeah, whatever, man. Go ahead, just make some money. Supporting is like, yeah, I know you can do it. And there's a big difference in that. So, but I just wanted to throw that in. But anyway, my first thought was, yeah, you know what? Look what I did. Look what I did. The problem is, my thought shouldn't have been, not look what I did. Look what I can do. Look what I can do. Look what I can do for myself, for my family, my community, for my people, for the world. And when I started thinking about look what I can do for others, myself, obviously, self-preservation is the first law of nature. But once you get that down, then that's when the second why comes in. And the second why is service. What can I do for others? Your needs are met. Hopefully they're exceeded by your business. So you don't have any more financial, I'm not saying you got to still work and still bust your hump, obviously. But that second why is so important because it's all about service. So years ago, when I was a young man right in college, right? I was about 18, 19 years old. I always wanted to start a community center for rough neighborhoods, but I wanted to create a community center, a safe haven for kids. After school, they could come, they could be safe, they could get some snacks, they could have tutors, they could play, be a normal kid and not have to worry about the violence and things going on in the inner city. Now, I always had that dream, never accomplished it, unfortunately. But it's funny because that was service. And really, when it all boils down to it, that's what we're here for. I'm not going to get into a religious discussion, but if you think about it, we're really here for service, to serve others. So, for example, the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, this podcast, it's here to serve others. What it is my experiences, my know-how that I want to share with you guys to help you move from point A to point B. The guests that I bring on, their experiences, to move from point A to point B. And it's service. And I enjoy it and I love it. It is actually fulfilling. Making money is good, but you need to be fulfilled. And so once you get to your second why, I think that's when it's going to be, you'll be more fulfilled at that point, because it's about giving back and it's about serving others. So today's show, like I said, it's a little different. No actionable steps, but I just wanted to get that out to you. And it's going to be a short show today, guys, because I'm still under the weather, recovering from this diverticulitis, taking antibiotics and all of that. And I'm still in the hurting a little bit, but I'm good. The show must go on, as they say, right? But I want you to start thinking about it. And even if you haven't got to the first why yet, think about what your service is. Think about what you want to contribute. And it doesn't have to be anything grandiose that I have a dream, you're going to lead the people to the land of freedom, anything like that. You know, it could be as simple as, like I said, it could be as simple as starting a community group. It could be as simple as serving by creating a flag football league for kids in the neighborhood. It could be being a block captain, serving, be it in church or whatever, serving, helping other people. That's what it's really about. Entrepreneurship is a platform. If you can build a great business, you can do so many different things for so many different people. And that's what's so beautiful about this. Now, when you work for somebody else, I'll give you the perfect example. There are a lot of people that make tons of money that work for other people, and they still can't say or do what they really want to do. All right. So you have a lot of athletes lose their sponsorships. I use the example all the time, and I'm not knocking the brother, but Al Sharpton, when you get your money from MSNBC and all these corporations, you're beholden to what they think. A true entrepreneur, somebody asked me this before, and I always say it. A true entrepreneur, they ask me, how do you know what's a real entrepreneur? And a real entrepreneur, write this down, is when you sign the front and the back of your check. All right. And for a lot of youngsters that don't use checks, because most people use debit cards right now. So you know when you get your paycheck, right? You sign, you turn it over, and you endorse the back of your check. Look at the front of your check. Now, most people got direct deposit. I know that. But on that bottom right-hand box, or not box, but line, you have to sign the check when you're paying somebody. All right. When you're the boss, you sign the front and you sign the back. That's how you know that you're a true entrepreneur. And the funny story was I can't take credit for that line. My two partners and I, when I had my mortgage business, we would go into the local bank that we bank with for the business. And I had a personal account there, and I had a business account, our business accounts there. And I had another bank. I always mix my banks up. So one day we're going in and we're cashing these nice sized checks. That's what we were in there for, to make that money, to take care of our family, to do the things we need to do, our first why. And so normally we go to this one teller that knew us. She was off that day. Actually, she was in the back that day. And another young lady came up, and we all had nice size 5-figure checks. And she was like, I need to call the owner of the business to just verify that. And so my business partner, one of my partners was in line in front of me. He was like, I'm right here. You want my number? And she was like, what do you mean? He was like, yeah, we own this. And then while we were talking, the bank manager that knew us came up and like, yo, these guys are good. We know them. You don't need to verify and all of that stuff. The money is there. All right. So, and he was like, because she asked him, she was like, oh, did you sign the back of the check after they verified? He's like, yeah, I signed the front and the back of the check. Look at the signature. And that's where I got that from. But it's true. That's when you know you're an entrepreneur, when you sign the front and the back of the check. Don't ever forget that. All right. But so it's funny because After you reach a certain level, guys, you're going to really want to find out, or your why is going to transform. And it's all about service. We want to get ours, obviously. I'm right with you. I got to get mine first before I can help somebody else. I need to be set first. All right. I can't help you if I can't help myself. I can't help my mother, my family, if I can't help myself. So I need to help myself first. But once you get to that point, start thinking deeper. What's your next why? How are you going to serve others? That's what it's about. So when it's all said and done, I was blessed enough to lay on that, go through that CAT scan, lay on that gurney and be able to get up and walk on out of the joint. But there's going to be a point in time where you're not going to be able to walk on out of the joint. You might not even have the opportunity to lay on the gurney. We don't know how we're going to go. Thank God we don't know when we're going to move forward to the next realm. But think about the why, the transformation of the why. After you make what you need to make and continue to build your business, is bigger than you. Because remember what I said, it's not look what I did. That's what I wanted to say to these people, but I didn't. It's look what I can do. And not do just for me, but for others. And that's what it's really about. Look what you can do. So a lot of times when we have a why that doesn't motivate us, and the first why that's going to motivate you is the money to take care of your personal, family business or bills. But after you get there, you need something else to motivate you. And I'm a big boxing fan. Y'all know that if you listen to the show. So your first thing is, man, I got to win the heavyweight title. I'm trying to win this belt. Now, after you win the belt, the journey isn't over, is it? Nah, you want to defend that belt. You want to have the most defenses of the heavyweight championship belt ever. That's Joe Louis, 25 defenses. All right. Larry Holmes was close. I think he had 22. Klitschko, with all the different belts he had like 20 or something like that. But once you reach a certain level of success, you got to have another why. And that's what today's show is about. So thinking about your why is bigger than deeper than making money. We all know we got to make paper. That's why we all working. You're either working for yourself or you're working for somebody else. So we know that. That's a given. So we know we have to take care of our children. We know we have to take care of our families. We know that. Think deeper and think about the transformation of your why. What's behind the first why? Where's your second why? And sometimes that's the only thing that gets you to where you want to be. Because if you don't have a goal or objective, if I was satisfied with my first why, taking care of my family, I'm going to be quite honest. I was getting bored with the e-commerce businesses. I'm like, all right, yeah, this is great. I'm making money. Everything is good. I'm handling my business. But there's more to life than this. It ain't all about me. Now, what can I do for others? Now, how can I help other people? That's why I talk about, guys, mentorship, reaching back, helping others. And if you want to learn something, reach out to people. People are more than happy to help you move forward. So if you're successful in any form or fashion, you have the know-how in any skill or whatever, take what you know and give back to those couple of steps behind you. Like I said, I have mentors. I'm not even half of the way I want to be, where I want to be yet. I have mentors. I have people I reach out to that have know-how in areas and things that I don't. So I'm always looking to learn. But the reason I'm looking to learn is not necessarily just for me. It's for what can I help or who else can I serve by learning more, by increasing my know-how. And that's what it's all about. And I told you guys before on the show, one of my favorite uncles passed away, and I was talking to my aunt. And I asked her, I said, I'm Betty, I said, what was the last thing Unc said to you, if you don't mind me asking? And his last words out of his mouth were, did I contribute? Did I contribute? He said it 2 times, and then he passed away. And what he meant was, did he help? Did he serve others? He knew he took care of his family. He did that. He was a good man. Took care of his wife and his child and extended family members. The question wasn't, what did I do, or look what I did? It was, did I contribute? Did I help others? Did I serve others? And so you may not be to your second why yet. And I know this is kind of an abstract concept per se, but laying in that emergency room, it just made me think about my mortality. We had a guest scheduled today for the show, but because I was all jacked up, we had to push that back. I'm working on actually 2 high-powered guests that we should be having on shortly. Great, well-known guests coming on shortly. Just got to reschedule them now. But laying on there, just thinking about mortality, not thinking that I was laying on there, I was going to die. But I was like, you know what? You never know what it is. And I hate going to the hospital. So when I'm getting a CAT scan, I'm like, Lord, please don't let this be nothing crazy. And so I was blessed to be able to come out there with just taking some antibiotics and a little bit of rest and all of that stuff. So I'm good, and I'm rocking and rolling, just recovering a little bit. But it made me think about my mortality. And there's going to be a point in time where it's a wrap. It's a done deal. It's gone. And when my uncle said that, his last words, did I contribute? That always struck me and stuck with me, because it wasn't about, hey, babe, look what I did. Lieutenant Colonel in the Army, Vietnam veteran, great man, great family man, great provider, great husband, great father, great uncle. But it wasn't about what did I do, it's what did I contribute. And I think that's the second why that we need to eventually get to. I understand if you trying to get to the first why. Trust me, I've been there. I can't think about helping or serving. You can always serve in some form or fashion. But it's easier to serve when you don't have to worry about if your light's about to get cut off. All right. So what I recommend, and you always want to serve, be it the church, be it, volunteer, whatever it is, always serve. But it's hard to focus on really serving until you have your home taken care of. So as an entrepreneur, we know it's a struggle day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year, just to stay in business. So keep pushing forward. Get to that first why and push through that first why. That's taking care of your house, self-preservation. All right, now I'm taken care of, my family's taken care of. Now let's really focus on that second why, something that's greater than you. Something that's greater than you, that's going to benefit others. And like I said, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. You don't have to save the world. But whatever it is, find out what that last or second why is and move toward that. Like I said, example with heavyweight champ, any fighter. You win the title. Yeah, that's your first why. Why am I in the game? I'm in the game to win the belt. All right, now you got the belt. All right, what's your why now? You got there. Oh, I need to keep the belt. I want to have the longest reign in heavyweight championship history. So whatever that other why is, after you get to the first one, move to the second one. So that's today's show. It's a little abbreviated. I'm still under the weather, but I'm good, y'all. I ain't going nowhere, God willing. Before we close out, once again, I just want to thank you guys for please continue to spread the word. Share the podcast, social media, whatever. Every Monday morning, 5 a.m., we come out with a new episode. So please spread the word. Let your people know. We're trying to get all of the downloads we can. And each and every month, more and more and more downloads are coming. And I attribute that to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family. I get a lot of people reaching out to me. The best way, if you have something long or detailed you want to reach out to me, hit me at jjones@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, JAYJONES @blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Facebook, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Twitter, jjones001. That's JAYJONES 001. Instagram, jjones4real. JAYJONES, the number 4, REAL. And you got the email address. And I'll see you same time next week, guys. Love you. Talk to you soon. Peace.